Hello and welcome to FTS training. In this video we're going to be looking at how to put an unconscious casualty into the recovery position. You need to be aware that we're making some assumptions like the danger has been checked, the casualty's airways have been checked and a top to toe survey has been carried out. We are now purely looking at the recovery position and how to put an unconscious person into that position safely for them and yourself. We would also like to point out that this video alone does not constitute training, so therefore for details of how to book a course, please listen to the end of the video.
Alright, I'm going to do a recovery position. I'm going to move your hand up.
When putting a casualty into the recovery position, you should make sure you roll them to the injured side, unless it's a pregnant lady, and then you should avoid putting them onto their right hand side due to the way the baby's lying. When you start the recovery position, put the hand closest to you up into a 90-degree angle or an angle that is comfortable for the casualty. If you lift the arm up, as you'll see in this video, the arm will naturally drop into a position that is comfortable for the casualty. Do not force the arm, otherwise you could cause other damage to the shoulder joints or the arm itself. Okay, now you need to take the opposite arm, move it across the body and put your palm of your hand against the palm of the casualty's hand, and then put the back of their hand against their cheek. This will now act as a support to the head when turning the casualty over. Remember, although you've done a top to toe survey, there could still be an injury to the neck that you haven't picked up on, so the head must be supported at all times during the manoeuvre.
And then move this hand across and put it up there.
Now we have the casualty's head supported, we need to raise the opposite leg to the side we're on. This is going to be acting as our lever. As you can see, we're using a young person as the first aider and an adult as the casualty. This is to show how easy it is to manoeuvre a person into the recovery position with the correct training. Throughout the manoeuvre, the casualty's head will remain supported, their back will remain straight, and no stress at all will be put on the back of the first aider. This exercise has been designed for comfort for both the casualty and the first aider, as you will see.
Raise your leg. Now on the count of 3, I'm going to roll you over. 1, 2, 3. Now, I'm going to pull your leg out.
Throughout this manoeuvre, you would have noticed that the casualty's head and back stayed straight during the rollover procedure. You would also notice there was a countdown of 3. This is to give warning to the casualty that you're going to be moving them, so it doesn't come as a surprise. Once the casualty is over, gently rest the head down and then move the leg out. By moving the leg, it's now virtually impossible for the casualty to roll backwards onto their back.
I'm going to pull your head back and now take your breathing. The ambulance is on its way.
Now that the casualty's leg has been moved and they cannot roll backwards, it's important that we go back to the head, tilt it back and check that the airway is clear and the casualty is breathing. The idea of putting somebody into the recovery position is to maintain the airway so that they can continue breathing. However, it has been known that if you move the casualty, you could then bring a blockage to the front of the casualty's airway. So if you don't check it, you may have rolled the casualty over and in fact stopped them from breathing. Once this is done, it's important that we continue to talk to the casualty and let them know that the ambulance and help are on their way. This will help reassure the casualty. We would like to thank you for watching our video on putting somebody in the recovery position, and we'd like to take this opportunity to point out the reason we used a young person was to show that it doesn't matter how old, how tall or how small you are, anybody with the correct training can put somebody into the recovery position and potentially save a life. To book your course on first aid or any other courses, either as a business, an individual, or as a family, please contact us by going to www.ftstraining.co.uk or by calling us on 07 954 126 308.